Hello, my friend. Welcome to your sleep story. My name is Stephen Dalton. I'm an Irish storyteller, and it's my great privilege to be the voice that you listen to as you go to sleep tonight. In tonight's story, you will follow a day in the life of a woman and her cat who visit a very special garden, the garden of letting go. And in this special place, the woman will find peace through the deliberate act of letting go of the past and things that aren't useful. And maybe you can find your own peace as you listen whilst going to sleep. And it will be followed by sleepy affirmations. One small thing, if you're a regular listener and you're not subscribed, I'd be so grateful if you could. Thank you. Okay, let's do the relaxation session now, which will take a few minutes before tonight's sleep story. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1, and as I do, allow yourself to let go more and more. 10. Feel the support of the bed beneath you, or the floor, or whatever you lie upon tonight. And beneath all of that, feel the support of the earth, our home, our constant support. And as you become aware of that deep, constant support, see if you can let go a little more now. Ease into this moment a little more now. 9. You are safe. Allow my voice to be an anchor of safety tonight, to be a friend. Know that my voice will only ever take you to safe places. And with that feeling of safety that is offered to you tonight, allow yourself to sink into this moment more now. 8. Feel into your body now. Where are you still holding? Where do you still feel tension? Or even pain? Maybe it's in your feet. Maybe it's in your lower legs. Maybe it's in your thighs. Maybe it's in your belly. Maybe it's in your chest. Maybe it's in your neck and shoulders. Maybe it's in your hands or your arms, or maybe it's in your face. Just let go now. 7. The day is done. Whatever has been, has been. Whatever will be, will be. Whatever thoughts you might be having, no matter what they are, they don't serve you now. So when and if thoughts arrive, don't fight them. See them for what they are. Thoughts, a part of being human. And as they arrive, see them and let them go. Let them drift away like leaves on a moonlit river, or clouds passing in a starlit sky. Six. This is your moment. This is your time. You deserve rest. We all do. Allow that fact to enable you to arrive in this moment more and more now, to move closer to deep rest more and more now. To continue to let go more and more now. 5. Peace lives within you. It is always there, waiting to be found, waiting to be felt. It is a constant friend. See if you can find that friend tonight. Find that peace within you. 4. Perhaps allow a little gratitude now. Gratitude for this moment. Gratitude for the simple things, for the shelter you have tonight, for those you love, for the opportunity to rest. 3. Begin to engage with your imagination now. Begin to see the most magical walled garden. A garden filled with beauty. A place for letting go. Begin to hear the birds in the distance, the river, and the sound of the leaves in the trees. 2. Checking in with your body one more time now. Your body has worked hard for you today. It's time to give it rest. And 1. Completely letting go now. as I tell you tonight's sleep story. The woman walked through the gate. It was an iron gate, rusted at the hinges, left open just enough for her to slip through without touching it. The latch had long since broken. It was better that way. Some things were not meant to be locked. The garden was wide and beautiful. There were birds just about audible, the sound of a distant river, the light breeze catching the leaves as it passed. The walls around it were stone, low in some places, covered in ivy in others. The path was uneven, made of old bricks that had sunk into the earth over time. The grass grew tall where no one had to cut it. Wildflowers had taken what space was left. She walked slowly, her steps measured, not because she was tired, but because there was no need to hurry. The air smelled of warm earth and fallen leaves. The cat followed behind her. It was a small cat, black with a white patch on its chest. It walked with the surety of something that had never doubted itself. When she stopped, it stopped. When she moved, it moved. It had followed her for years. She did not know why she had come today. She had not planned it, had not set out with a purpose. She had only walked, and the road had led her here. She had not seen the garden in years, though she had thought of it often. She moved towards the bench beneath the old apple tree. The tree was gnarled, its branches bent with age. The apples were small and green, not yet ripe. Some had fallen, resting in the grass, untouched. She sat. The cat jumped onto the bench beside her and curled its tail around its paws. It did not look at her. It watched the garden. The garden was as it had always been. She let out a breath. She had carried many things in her life. Some she had set down, some she had not. She looked at the garden, at the weeds growing between the bricks, at the soft petals of the late summer roses. at the way the ivy climbed the stone without hesitation. She thought maybe she had held on too long. The past did not live here, only what remained. She placed her hands in her lap and watched the leaves move in the light breeze. There was time. There had always been time. She reached down and plucked a fallen apple from the grass. It was small, firm beneath her fingers. It had not rotted. It had not broken. It had simply let go. The cat flicked its tail. She turned the apple over in her hand. She thought of all the things she had carried. Regrets, small and sharp-edged. Losses, heavy and unwieldy. She thought of the faces she had held in her mind long after they had gone. She had been afraid that if she let go, she would lose something of herself, that the past, once released, would take some part of her with it. But the apple was still whole. She set it down beside her on the bench. She did not need to hold everything. She did not need to remember it all. The garden was quiet. The cat closed its eyes. She sat back, her shoulders settling. She let the past stay where it was, not erased, not forgotten, just no longer something she needed to carry. The wind shifted, just slightly, rustling the leaves overhead. She stayed like that for a long time. A leaf drifted down from the apple tree. It turned once, twice, before settling on the grass. It had not fought the wind. It had not clung to the branch. It had let go when it was time. The old woman watched it fall. She thought of a name she had not spoken in years, a name she had carried, tucked tucked away in the quiet corners of her mind, held close like something fragile. The leaf rested in the grass, and she let the name rest with it. Another leaf fell. This one caught the light as it turned, a brief flash of gold before it joined the first. She thought of a regret, small, but something she had turned over in her hands too many times, as if the weight of it might change the past. It had not. It never would. She let it fall with the leaf. The wind stirred the branches. More leaves loosened, floating gently toward the earth. She watched them go, one by one, and with each, she let go of something she had held too tightly. A word left unsaid. A love not returned. A fear that had outlived its purpose. The leaves gathered in the grass, and she felt lighter. The cat stretched beside her, yawning, unbothered. It had never carried such things. She looked at the branches above, still full, still reaching. The tree did not mourn what it had lost. It knew there would be more leaves, more seasons, more beginnings. The old woman let out a slow breath. She had spent so long holding on, but now she knew it was time to let go. She reached into the pocket of her coat and pulled out a small book. The cover was worn, the edges of the pages soft from use. She had carried it with her for years. She placed it on her lap and took out the pencil tucked inside. She did not rush. She turned past old pages, words written long ago, things that had once seemed important. She found a blank space and set the pencil to the page. I have carried too much. The pencil moved, slow and steady. Some things I have held because I did not know how to put them down. Some because I thought they were part of me, but they are not. I see that now. She paused, listening to the wind, to the birds in the distance, to the river. She wrote again. The past does not need to be carried. It does not need to be turned over and over like a stone in the hand. It has already happened. That is enough. The cat flicked its tail. She looked down at the words. They were not beautiful. They were not profound, but they were true. She closed the journal and set it beside her on the bench. The pages would hold what she no longer needed to. She rose from the bench. The cat stretched, then followed, walking behind her as she moved along the path. The stones were uneven, worn by time and weather. The garden had no order to it. Things grew where they wished, where the wind had carried their seeds, where the rain had soaked the earth just long enough for roots to take hold. She walked past the low wall, where ivy climbed thick and wild, past roses that had shed their petals in careless abandon. She ran her fingers along the stone, rough and cool beneath her touch. At the edge of the garden she stopped. A tree stood there, split down the middle, its trunk cracked and hollowed by time. It must have been struck once, long ago, by lightning, or by wind that had been too strong for it to withstand. It should have fallen, but it had not. One half of the trunk was charred, jagged, open to the sky. The other half stood tall, branches reaching, leaves still turning toward the sun. She touched the bark, tracing the line where the wound had been made. The tree had lost something. It had broken, perhaps beyond what seemed possible to heal. And yet, here it was, still standing, still alive. She let her hand drop to her side. Not everything that breaks must end. She turned, walked back toward the fountain. The cat followed, stepping lightly over the fallen leaves. She had let go of many things today, and she had kept something too. She walked back through the garden. The air was cooler now, the light softer, folding into itself as the evening settled in. The leaves stirred gently overhead. The river kept its slow, steady rhythm. The cat followed close behind, silent, watchful. She had not planned to stay, but there was nowhere else she needed to be. She found a place near the low stone wall where the grass grew thick and the ivy curled lazily along the edges. A broad oak tree stretched its branches wide above her, its roots twisting deep into the earth. She sat down, pressing her hand to the ground. It was firm, solid, unshaken by time or worry. The cat circled once, then curled against her side, tucking its paws beneath itself. It let out a slow breath, a sound of quiet contentment, of knowing it was safe. She leaned back, resting against the curve of the tree. The garden moved around her in its own quiet way. The rustling of leaves, the distant river. She closed her eyes. She did not need to hold on to anything anymore. Not the past, not the future. She let herself rest. The cat sighed against her. The wind passed gently through the trees. The garden remained, and so did she. And she slept. Your body is softening. Your mind is quieting. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You can let go of any thoughts that do not serve you. You are wrapped in warmth, in safety, in rest. The world is taking care of itself. You can let go. You are supported, just as the earth supports you. Your breath is slow, steady, peaceful. Every part of you is unwinding into rest. You are allowed to rest without guilt or worry. You are floating deeper and deeper into sleep. You can trust that everything is unfolding as it should. You are weightless, calm, free. You can surrender to the quiet rhythm of the night. Sleep is washing over you like a gentle tide. You are drifting into deep, nourishing rest. Your thoughts are soft, like clouds passing by. You are welcoming sleep with open arms. You are loved. You are cared for. You are enough. Nothing is urgent. The night holds you. You can let your body sink into comfort and ease. Your breath is guiding you into sleep. Everything you need is already within you. The world is quiet, and you are part of that quiet. You are arriving into the deepest peace you have ever known. Sleep is a gift, and you are accepting it fully. You are safe. You are at peace. You are asleep. Your body is softening. Your mind is quieting. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You can let go of any thoughts that do not serve you. You are wrapped in warmth, in safety, in rest. the world is taking care of itself. You can let go. You are supported, just as the earth supports you. Your breath is slow, steady, peaceful. Every part of you is unwinding into rest. You are allowed to rest without guilt or worry. You are floating deeper and deeper into sleep. You can trust that everything is unfolding as it should. You are weightless, calm, free. You can surrender to the quiet rhythm of the night. Sleep is washing over you like a gentle tide. You are drifting into deep, nourishing rest. Your thoughts are soft, like clouds passing by. You are welcoming sleep with open arms. You are loved. You are cared for. You are enough. is urgent. The night holds you. You can let your body sink into comfort and ease. Your breath is guiding you into sleep. Everything you need is already within you. The world is quiet, and you are part of that quiet. You are arriving into the deepest peace you have ever known. Sleep is a gift, and you are accepting it fully. You are safe. You are at peace. You are asleep.